Yo, Philly 254 living life. Back at it. Now, as you can see, just look at that. Look at that. Now that was an alien, a xenomorph. So what game are we looking at? Aliens Dark Descent. Now here's the thing. We're gonna get into how well does it play on both the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally. Before we do that, let's do just a quick overview of my thoughts of the game. Straight up. This game, and just FYI, this game is not a straight up action game. It is more of an RTS, real time strategy. So, but it's not in the same vein as exact same vein as like StarCraft or Command and Conquer or something like that. It's like a mixture between real time strategy and almost turn based in a way. Because you have the option to kind of slow down the gameplay when you press your skills button, and things either slow down or come to a complete stop. So you can choose your skill on what you want your troops to do. But here's the thing: you don't control an entire army or fleet or nothing like that. You're not building entire entire armies to go against your opponents. You control a squad of 4, and the commands you give go to that entire squad. Now, as you can see on the gameplay here, the whole thing is you jump in there. You can now this is Steam Deck, by the way. You jump in there and you do your thing. You follow these particular missions, and you as you fulfill the missions, the game progresses. So, but how does it work? So, and I cannot remember the game. I'm thinking off the top of my head. I had it all in my head a few minutes ago. I'll probably edit it into the video, but it's a turn-based strategy game where you're fighting aliens. And like I said, I'll edit the name of it on the screen. But it's a turn-based game. XCOM. I don't even have to edit nothing. It's XCOM. Think of like XCOM. So on XCOM where you go on like your little in between missions, you kind of manage your base and your army and whatnot, and then before you go out, you choose your squad and then you go do your thing. It's kind of like that in a way, except it's full real time. Everything's moving. As you can see, I'm kind of slowing things down as my squad's moving, as I'm choosing different skills and whatnot. You get these missions. So here's how it works. You get a mission and you go fulfill the mission. Pretty simple, right? But the thing about it is aliens are coming out. They don't come out all at once. You may see patrolling drones or whatnot. And when you see a drone, you basically have an option. The best option is to try to avoid it. Sometimes you can't avoid it. When you kill a drone, when you come up on it, when you find it, if it sees you and you kill it, it pretty much alerts the rest of the hive, and you kind of go into what's called a hunted status. Before that, you're in the undetectable. You go into a hunted status. Once you're in a hunted status, you'll see more drones kind of lurking around your little area, and if you kill enough of them, you cause enough for the stir, things go into a full-blown onslaught. And that's when they just come out of everywhere, and they coming to get you, and you start seeing more than just the drones. You start seeing, and I don't know all the names of them, to be honest with you, but you start seeing larger variants of the aliens, and you got to take it down, and if you can survive the onslaught, it'll eventually go, the whole alert system will go back down to just straight easy mode, or I say easy mode, but undetectable. Once you, again, so you kind of want to try to stay as undetectable as possible. If a drone comes within range, you see like a little yellow line to your squad, and you'll see like that yellow line will, starting from the alien towards you, will turn red. And if it goes all the way red, that means it sees you and you're in its own. The squad members, you got to manage both their weapons, of course, and ammunition, but you also got to manage their stress levels and their injuries, right? So squad member that's hurt is gonna start stumbling around, moving slower, may eventually bleed out. A squad member that's freaking out because he's stressed out over his limit, he's gonna start doing weird stuff. His aim's gonna be off. He may not spot aliens as faster. He may start shooting shit way too much. You just start freaking out. So you got to manage that by medication, and also you can kind of weld the doors so that way it kind of locks you in, and that way you can put your squad into like a rest mode. When I say weld the doors, when you go into, like right now, you see them walk into a little facility. If you weld the doors in a specific room, you can rest. You can choose to rest. Once you're rested, your squad stress level goes down, and you can kind of manage the situation. So, and as you can see right here, there's also the arc. I gotta remember the arc. The arc, when it kills aliens, it does not count against the whole going into hunted onslaught mode. So a lot of times you'll see me, I'll go in there, I'll see some aliens or alien drone come my way, I'll bust out, run straight back to the Ark, let the Ark do the business, and then we back at it. The Ark from what I can tell so far, the Ark is not destroyed. It can't be damaged by the aliens. It's just a free turret. Just, it handles business. It mows them down for you. I even had to handle one of the bosses one time for me. So it's totally doable. In between the missions, you go to the actual your base, and you have to choose certain areas like the barracks or whatever, and you can choose to actually choose different soldiers and whatnot, upgrade them for different skills and whatnot to either help the entire squad or just help that particular soldier. They can carry more things as well, and of course you got your med bay where you can heal them up, and of course you have them talk to a psychiatrist to help them out under stressing and freaking out. And then once you're done doing all that, you have to choose to go to the next day. It's kind of like the turn-based system of it. You have to choose to go to the next day, and then you can go to another mission. Each day that you choose, the alien threat level increases on the planet, right? So the alien threat level starts pretty simple, but as that threat level increases, you see more drones patrolling. It's basically meaning that the planet's getting more and more infested. So you got to keep that in mind. The game is tense, man. I played this game for a little while, and I'm getting straight up like, let me take a minute. I gotta take a breather. It's getting a little too tense. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. I like it. I do like it. I do like RTS games. I like the mixture between turn-based and RTS. So I would say if you're into aliens, RTS, if you're into both, I would definitely try it out. One thing you almost gotta remember is it took me a while. For some reason, I kept thinking, I see aliens, time to start shooting. No, man, you don't shoot. You don't control them directly. Start shooting. You gotta give them directions, and that's when they start shooting for you. You just gotta keep that in mind. You're not controlling their actions directly in the sense of telling them to straight up aim and shoot. It's more just controlling the situation and controlling the direction they go, and then they take the move. They'll take that move for you. It's definitely fun. Again, this is all Steam Deck, so I may just steamroll this into the Steam Deck gameplay. This is all Steam Deck, and as you can see, it's been rolling around about between 30 and 40 frames per second or whatnot. I don't really notice any real slowdown or anything while playing the actual game. I did notice, and you don't feel any kind of graphical, any loss on the graphics or whatnot. Right now, it's just set to the default. I didn't really alter the graphics at all. It's when you play, it's when you see this cutscenes, because it does have cutscenes. That's when you notice when the graphics are a little bit lower, because, for the Steam Deck. The characters look a little cardboardish, just a little bit. I did not notice any kind of, stutter. Well, no, the occasional stutter. I'm sorry. I did notice the occasional stutter when playing, but it wasn't nothing crazy. It was, like I said, as far as graphics, it was mostly during the actual cutscenes is where I noticed things were getting a little, could look better. Let's put it that way. Could look better. This is on the Steam Deck, of course. Now, as far as the actual fun factor on the Steam Deck, none of that's affected. It's definitely controller friendly, so if you want to play as a mouse, I would say play as mouse and keyboard is probably the best way to go. But if you don't want to use the mouse and keyboard, don't have one available or whatever, it's definitely controller friendly. I was playing the entire time with just the Steam Deck's control. Same thing with the ROG Ally. Just playing with the regular default control, so no issues whatsoever going on that level. I would definitely say if you want to play it on the Steam Deck, it's definitely playable. No issues. I didn't have no problems. Like I said, the cutscenes could be a little touch and go. Not as far as stuttering or slow down. Just they don't always look the best. But as far as within actual gameplay, yeah, man, it's definitely a plus. I had no problems whatsoever. So with that being said, let's switch over to the Ally and see how it was doing. All right, now we're now looking at the ROG Ally. So how well does it play? Unsurprisingly, plays a bit better than the Steam Deck. I forgot to get the footage with the actual frame rate information on it, but it played solid. It played solid. It was like, I think you want to say it was like a 55, average 55, if I remember correctly. I have to double check it. And when I do, I'll put it on the screen. But it was definitely like an average 55, if I remember correctly. The biggest difference with the ROG Ally was the actual cutscenes. They just looked better, man. I'm gonna be real with it. They just looked better. On the Steam Deck, it felt like things were just a little blurry and whatnot, because Steam Deck had to play things down to its level as far, and while still staying at a good frame rate, in-game frame rate. Of course, the Ally being more powerful could keep things up just a tad bit. Could definitely keep things up just a tad bit. But while in-game, I didn't have no issues, man. Of course. So a lot of the same things I said about the Steam Deck stands true for the ROG Ally. As far as controls, they work flawlessly. I know I mentioned when playing Street Fighter 6, the little secondary function buttons or switches on the bottom of the ROG Ally would seem to be a problem, because I'm getting into it. On this game, it's a bit slower paced, so I never had that issue with this game. I wasn't, twitching and trying to move fast and tweaking, trying to hit buttons while doing this game. So I never had an issue where I was accidentally hitting any secondary functions. So that was a non-issue. Gameplay wise, definitely had fun. Again, just like I mentioned on Steam Deck, I still had the occasional slowdown while playing within game. That did happen every now and then. I don't think it's a ROG, I don't think it was a Steam Deck or even Ally specific issue, especially considering Ally is pretty much a straight up PC. I think I saw some reports that it happened like that on actual desktop PCs or whatever, with other reviewers. So they had some similar issues. So that might just be an optimization thing with the actual game itself. Again, no issues whatsoever. Not a huge difference between the Steam Deck, other than the graphical abilities that the ROG can support with the increased power. So the main thing with me, as far as gameplay, that I felt was definitely, I won't say gameplay, but as far as the actual game itself, was it benefited from, was the fact that cutscenes looked better. And that's 100% being real. The cutscenes definitely look better. No issues whatsoever. All the other experiences and whatnot, just pretty much the exact same. Frame rate was improved. I forgot. Frame rate was actually improved on the Ally, of course. So I forgot about that part. My bad. But on a game like this, the improved frame rate, not really a huge thing. Let's just be real. This game is not a fast-paced game, so that's not a huge deal with the frame rate. So on a different game like Street Fighter 6, I can feel it, and I can even see it. So let's be real. But this one, slower paced game, RTS, with some mixtures of turn-based mixed in there. Not a huge deal breaker whatsoever as far as frame rate. What I recommend this game, again, I mentioned it a little bit on the actual Steam Deck. Buy a pass. Hell yeah. Let me put it like this. If you into Aliens, the actual Alien franchise, if you are into RTS games, and if you're into both, yeah, knock it off, man. It's a fun game. If you're not into any of that, you could try it, I guess. I don't know if you really like it. If you're not into any of those type of games, I don't see how this would change your mind to get into them. I'm gonna be honest with you. But if you are into it, yeah, even XCOM games. If you're into those, yeah, play them. Play this. I would say give it a run. Give it a go. You'll enjoy yourself. Real talk. It's a super tense game. I'm gonna put it out there, and this might be the footage. I can't remember. There was a spot where I was about to play, I guess, fight the first, I guess, in parentheses, first boss. It was a variant, a more powerful variant. I don't know the name of it, of an alien, and the game warned me. It said, yo, because it was like a data pad kind of thing, and I'm not gonna read what was going on, but you had to click the data pad to collect the data pad, and that actually activated the actual confrontation. When you read the little data pad, the game said, yo, before you go further, make sure your troops are healed up, you got your weapons, you're good to go. If you not, stop. Like, stop right now. It's gonna get bad for you, homie. Just back out of here. We won't, no one's judging you right now. Stop right now. And it gave you the, continue or cancel button. Of course, me being me, I'm like, shit. These Marines are down for whatever. Continue. Bro, I got annihilated. I got handled. I played that alien boss like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, and the only way the way I beat him, because at this point I kept going back to that save. I could have just ended it and just said, hey, you know what, let me just go back, man, and then let's not do this. But my pride jumped in there and I said, I'm gonna beat this alien no matter the cost. So I remember jumping in there. I said my whole plan was, we gonna activate this boss fight and then we hoofing it back to the ARC, the ROC. Oh, not ROC, the ARC. And I said the ROC, the ARC. And we gonna let him handle this business for us. And that's precisely what I did. But the thing was, not only is the boss out there, of course the alien drones are out there. So my dudes are just getting annihilated the entire fight. You know what I'm saying? So by the time it was all said, dudes getting abducted, dudes getting murked. By the time it was all said and done, one person survived and they were limping. And we took, I think I grabbed the dog tags of my fallen soldiers who weren't abducted. When you get the dog tags, you at least get some experience points for the rest of what's left of the squad. I grabbed them dog tags and we hopped on that ARC, that ARC, and bounced. And that dude got intensive care, you know what I'm saying, got therapy. He was messed up. I think it might have been a dude or a chick, I can't remember. They were messed up. But just don't be like me. If you ain't ready, just don't say you're ready when you ain't ready. Let's just be real. All right. Anyway, what I promote this game, yes, man, have fun. It's a fun game. It's on Steam. I'll throw the link in the description. If you like more Steam Deck and ROG Ally news, walkthroughs, gameplay, reviews, lives, like and subscribe. Cruise through the playlist. And I'm out.